the beggar who saved a billionaire's empire. What happens next will surprise you. In a bustling city where towers of glass scraped the skies and neon lights never slept, people often whispered about the divide between the rich and the poor. On one side of the street, black cars rolled past velvet ropes. On the other, beggars slept under the shadows of billboards they would never afford to glance at. This is where our story begins. It is said that sometimes fate hides the keys to fortune in the hands of the most forgotten. The poor man nobody saw. His name was Rovi. He was thin, with a beard wild as an untamed forest, his clothes patched with more holes than cloth. He wasn't always poor once. Long ago, he had dreams of being an inventor. But when life turned cruel, Rovi fell into the cracks of society. By day, he begged outside the central train station, holding a cardboard sign that read, "I see what others ignore." Most people laughed at the words. Some threw coins. Others walked past as if he were invisible. Rovi never explained. He simply repeated it to himself. I see what others ignore. The billionaire on the brink. On the other side of the city lived Armin Devroj, a billionaire who owned an empire chains of hotels, shipping lines, and even banks. His name was once printed in gold on every magazine cover. But lately, whispers had spread. His empire was cracking. Investors were pulling out. Competitors were circling like wolves. And the worst of all, a massive deal that could collapse his company was about to fail. Armin had everything, yet nothing. His boardroom was filled with yes-men who never spoke the truth. His advisors told him only what he wanted to hear. And though he lived in a palace of glass, his vision had become blind. The empire was drowning, and no one dared to tell him the truth. If you're curious to find out how a beggar sees what others ignore and want to uncover the devastating secret he was hiding, subscribe to the channel, because this is the story that will change how you see power, wisdom, and survival forever. One rainy evening, Armin's car stalled near the train station. Furious, he ordered his driver to fix it. As he waited under the drizzle, he noticed a beggar staring at him. It was Rovi. Their eyes met, and then Rovi said something strange. "Sir, your empire is falling, not because of storms, but because of termites." Armin froze. No beggar had ever spoken to him like that. "What did you say?" he asked. Half curious, half insulted, Rovi repeated, "The storm outside does not sink ships. It is the holes inside that drown them." For some reason, those words pierced Armin deeper than any boardroom speech. He shoved a few bills into Rovi's hand and left, but his mind was restless that night. The next day, Armin returned. This time, he walked to Rovi and demanded, "Who are you? How do you know about my empire?" Rovi smiled faintly. "I don't know your empire. I only know what eyes refuse to see." Sometimes, those at the bottom can see cracks in the ceiling before those above do. Armin, skeptical but desperate, decided to test him. He brought Rovi to his officer place of marble floors and glass walls. The staff sneered at the sight of the ragged man trailing behind their billionaire boss. In the boardroom, Rovi listened quietly as executives bragged about numbers and charts. Then, in a calm voice, He pointed to one file and said, "This deal here. It looks rich, but bleeds slow poison. These men will smile today, but take your crown tomorrow." The room went silent. The executives laughed, but Armand saw something in Ravi's eyes. Clarity. Days later, Ravi's warning came true. The partners, who seemed generous, tried to slip a hidden clause into the contract. One that would strip Armand of control of his own company within months. Armand was shaken. For the first time, he realized the beggar was right. He began to bring Ravi secretly into meetings. Ravi never used fancy words or charts. Instead, he asked simple questions. Why does this man avoid your eyes when speaking? Why does the one who promises loyalty smile too much? If the numbers are so good, why is the presenter sweating what the rich couldn't see from their high towers? Ravi noticed from the ground. But news spread. The executives whispered. The billionaire has gone mad. He takes advice from a beggar. Some plotted to push Armand out. Rivals sharpened their knives. The empire teetered. One night, Armand confronted Ravi. "Why are you helping me? You could take the money and disappear." Ravi's voice trembled, but firm. "Because once I'd built something, I had ideas. But I trusted the wrong people. They used me, broke me, and left me on the streets. If I cannot rebuild my dream, let me at least save yours." Armand felt a strange respect for the man society had discarded. Together, they fought. Ravi uncovered lies hidden in golden words. He exposed betrayal dressed in silk ties. He saved Armand from signing away his fortune to smiling predators. At first, Armand's friends mocked him. But slowly, as the empire began to stabilize, they bowed in silence. Yet the war wasn't over. The greatest threat came from within Armand's most trusted lieutenant, who secretly plotted to sell the empire to rivals. Ravi warned him. Sometimes the sharpest knife is the one closest to your throat. The